Does it seem like you and your partner no longer have the flame and joy you once used to share? Let me share a quick story with you. I once knew about a couple who had great intimacy and support for each other. They continued waxing strong. However, soon enough they began to get cold. What had happened? They had watched each other ruin the once lovely relationship. This is the very same thing many people are doing nowadays. Number 1. Lack of proper communication. One of the biggest things that are destroying relationships today is a lack of good communication. Many times, couples are always so busy in their work of the day that they get too engrossed and forget to communicate with one another. Sometimes, it's the excessive stress that causes the lack of communication. Each partner has gone and has worked for a lot of hours, so they both are too fatigued and just want to sleep and rest. In fact, instead of talking, many people hold in things and then explode into massive arguments. Because of the many financial stress, problems at work, grief, and more, each person comes home and barely spends time talking or asking the other person about their day. When this continues to happen, it can break and destroy the relationship. Technology is another big reason why people aren't communicating. Most people carry their phones around and are always communicating on their phones rather than with people around them. This has a way of making people lose their intimacy with their partners. While you're still thinking that you have your partner and that you both are very close, you would realize that you barely even know things about each other again. This cancer is a big relationship killer. When you both are unable to communicate properly, there would be an increase in conflict and arguments. Both of you would blame each other for everything and you would keep having more arguments which you most likely cannot solve because you still can't communicate properly. A lack of communication will cause you both to always misunderstand each other. There will always be confusion and misinterpretation of each other's motives, actions, and speech. Both partners would feel lonely because they are unable to speak to their significant other. This would make them pull away and reduce intimacy with each other. In many cases, the partners may even go further to seek understanding and intimacy from other places. As a couple, a lack of communication is very destructive. The couple wouldn't be able to set goals or work towards set goals because they can't communicate properly. Individual growth and success may also suffer because of a lack of support from the partner. This causes more growth apart. The stress from a lack of communication causes you to read everything your partner does and say as a bad thing. You will begin to see all the bad sides of your partner. Number 2. Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is big cancer that can destroy the whole relationship. When two partners can't let go of the past, it will be hard for them to focus on the present in the relationship, and they won't be able to work things out or move on and have a successful relationship. Maybe your partner can't let the past go. Like an archaeologist, they're always digging up the past and bringing it up to hurt you. They don't recognize that the past is past for a reason. A good couple knows how to rise above hard times and forgive one another for their mistakes. A sign that marriage will not work is the constant upbringing of ugly memories. Digging up old arguments that have already been moved past is a sign that your relationship isn't very balanced and that you both don't feel very connected to each other as you once did. Arguing is already bad enough, but keeping score is much worse. It means that someone has been holding grudges. You or your partner to recognize that you've changed from who you were when you both had those conflicts in the past. It's usually bad, especially when you've moved on and can't remember what your partner is bringing up, and so you have no good way of countering the accusations brought against you. If you or your partner is always stuck in the past, then you have been destroying your relationship. The worst thing is that some people still define their partners by their past. They keep relating with them as though they hadn't changed and are still the same person that did that bad to them. Number 3. Dishonesty. Dishonesty is another big relationship killer. perhaps one of the biggest breakers of relationships. This is because dishonesty breaks the trust in a relationship. Honesty is the foundation of trust in a relationship. It's through honesty that trust is built. Removing honesty to provide dishonesty, and this dishonesty leads to a lack of trust. A lack of trust causes breaks in the relationship. If you have a habit of hiding things from your spouse, then you're being dishonest. It's part of why your partner doesn't trust you. A relationship that lacks trust and truth is nothing at all. When people can't trust each other anymore, they give up on the relationship between them. The more lies a person tells in a relationship, the less their partner can trust them. Too many lies would cause a partner to build up walls because they're tired of too much deceit. The other partner would then diminish their compassion and love towards that liar in a relationship. The worst thing is that the longer a lie is kept as the truth, the greater the consequences would be when the truth is revealed. Number 4. Selfishness. Relationships require a lot of selflessness and putting someone first, something that many people aren't used to. Putting your partner can be very hard because we are created and trained in such ways to choose ourselves. You must realize that each time you're choosing yourself over your partner, you're indirectly choosing you over us. Selfishness ruins your relationship. As humans, it's already innate for us to be concerned about ourselves first. Yet it's worse when you don't care about your relationship enough to sacrifice your self-needs and concerns. What this means to your partner is that you would rather always choose you rather than choose what's good for both of you. This destroys a relationship. Although people rarely think of the fact that selfishness is a top destroying factor for relationships, it is. This selfishness is beyond the inability to make compromises on certain issues. It's rather the innate selfish behavior in a partner that makes them demand that their spouse should always agree to their wants, values, and beliefs, and to always overlook their wrongs and weaknesses and the way they want their partners to do these things without them being ready to do them for their partners. Selfishness occurs in various scenarios, like when a partner always wants things to go their way, without caring much, or at all, about their partner's interests or needs. They would always be seeking that their partner should change to meet up with their values, principles, or goals. They always do selfish actions and expect no repercussions. They would demand their partner support each time they're in need, but yet they can't give theirs when the time arises. All these other partners feel cheated and invaluable in the relationship, and eventually, the person may speak up and express their disinterest in continuing the relationship. Number 5. Pride. Pride is one of the biggest relationship problems. In a relationship, you should easily recognize and apologize for mistakes and shortcomings. Pride is when you keep fixating on your partner's mistakes and you never see yours. And when yours is called out, you never apologize. In a relationship, it's necessary to recognize your shortcomings and restore them before blaming your partner. The place of pride makes many people unable to do this. They would rather point the finger and blame their partner for wronging them. Each time you're not taking responsibility for your actions, it's you letting go of your relationship. It's best to let your pride down and apologize when you're wrong. When one partner in a relationship is too proud, they make communication very difficult. It's believed that proud people aren't very good communicators. This is because they always believe that they know best, and so they don't bother to ask about what their partners need or don't need. They go ahead and proceed with what they assume is best for the relationship. The proud person is always making every issue about themselves. Almost every discussion has to be about them. When a person keeps doing this, it makes the other partner feel left out. Pride causes an outshift from intimacy. It causes the partners to lose emotional connection. Generally, the worst pride causes are the inability to see your own mistakes or admit them. And of course, if you can't see your mistakes, you most likely won't apologize. This pride would cause it to be impossible to resolve conflicts. Lies, bad communication, pride, selfishness, and unforgiveness are things that can destroy a relationship over time. These things would cause one or both partners to get frustrated or tired of building a relationship. When most of these things are present and aren't actively worked upon, the relationship is heading towards doom.